Greetings, weirdlings. You know what? It's been a really long time since I've done a book review. Am I right? Am I right? This week I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite new addictions, Strong Female Protagonist. This book is originally published in webcomic form, but I supported the Kickstarter along with tons of other people to get this book in print because books, you guys, books. They smell good. Kindles don't smell good. You know what a Kindle smells like? Nothing. An absence of hope. So what is Strong Female Protagonist about, other than, you know, a strong female protagonist? Kids all across the world get superpowers, and one girl named Allison gets the power to be like super strong and invulnerable. So she joins a superhero team, puts on the mask and the spandex, and goes out and punches things in the face in the name of justice until a villain reveals to her a mass conspiracy in the superhero community that causes her to take off her mask and search for a way to affect real change in her world. There are a lot of compelling aspects to this story, one of which being that, you know, Allison is going out and trying to find a way to affect change as one of the good, everyday, average American people, but superheroes and supervillains keep getting involved, so it sort of draws her back into that cyclical pattern of good guys versus bad guys. Meanwhile, all the other people here are just kind of chilling until somebody drops a bus on them. The other thing that's really cool about it is it brings the world of superheroes and fantasy into our real world, the world of, you know, corporate buyouts and the Occupy protests and homophobic hate crimes. All the while not taking itself too seriously, if you can believe that. This is a very character-driven story, and I'm in love with all the characters in this book, including Allison. I mean, the idea of a girl in her late teens, early 20s, just deciding that she is going to stop fighting in the name of justice and instead expand her mind and get an education, go to college, and do something real in the world makes a really powerful statement about inflicting your ideals on other people because you think it's right. Patrick is her former nemesis, a villain who went by the name of Menace. He is a mind reader, and there's a lot of really interesting things happening there between the two of them as well. Namely, that he can read everyone's mind, so people's motivations and the way that he sees the world is really interesting and opens up a lot of doors for the way that Allison sees the world. Fun fact, his life is also turned into a movie in this story that wins an Academy Award. That's crazy, right? Farrell is one of my favorite characters because she's sort of got that anti-hero, I serve myself and myself only thing. She has the power to regenerate, which, by the way, totally gross when it really happens. She and Allison meet because they are joining up to defeat a mutual enemy back in the superhero days, but once Allison takes off the mask, it encourages Farrell to question what's really right and what she is doing with all of these ample powers that she has, and what she decides to do, no spoilers, is so moving and so sweet and provides a really great opportunity to investigate, like, what is the right thing to do. Oh, it's so good. I love her. I love her. So, I need a minute. Pint Size is one of Allison's friends who is the leader of the group of superheroes she used to fight with. It's interesting to see his influence on the story because while she's trying to live this human life and affect change without her superpowers, he's on the other end telling her, oh, well, you're super, you don't have to worry about this, you can take care of this just by punching or just by doing this thing. And it really is a good antithesis for everything that Allison is trying to do while still being friendly and likable. I like Pint Size. He's a cute guy. One of the most interesting characters is a character that we see very little of, and it is the government-appointed doctor/therapist that Allison has to see ever so often. It illuminates a lot about the control that the government has over the superheroes in this story, because at one point, like, the two of them are very friendly because they see each other, they've known each other for a long time. Allison's basically kind of grown up with this woman from her teenage years. At one point, she's talking about the government tracking the mating habits of superheroes, and it's like, whoa, intrusive much? One of my favorite things about this story has got to be, hands down, the artwork. Molly Ostertag is amazing, and she does that thing that I call the Terry Moore, where she draws a huge slew of characters, all in black and white, with completely different facial expressions and completely different characteristics, and you never get two characters confused, even though there's no color, hair color, skin color, clothing color, whatever, to differentiate who's who. The facial expressions in this book are so moving. You get really involved with the characters just by looking at the looks on their faces and reactions to things. And she draws some of the most hilarious background setups that I've ever seen. Like some of the protest posters and things like that are just to die for. There is a bit at the end of the book that is all in color, and it's really beautiful because it's an illustration about the superheroes in other parts of the world, and it's really illuminating as to what's going on everywhere. Another thing that I really love about this book is that while you're reading it and things get really emotional or heated or morally involved, you can read down to the bottom of the page and there are comments from the author. Because it was published in webcomic format, there's always that little excerpt at the bottom, and those were included in the book, and it makes it feel like you're having a conversation with the creators of the book. And also the author is really freaking funny, like really funny, like so funny that when I was saying that, I think I just spit at the camera. I did, I saw it. I saw spit fly at the camera, my apologies. So this is gonna be one of those books that I buy like 5 or 6 times because I bought a copy and then I loaned it to a friend and my friend liked it so much and then moved somewhere or just never returned it. And I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, a book like this needs to be spread around to everybody. So where can you find strong female protagonists? Well, hopefully your comic book shop is going to order some copies this week and it'll be on your shelves already. But if it's not, ask your comic shop. It should be available to order. It was in previews and everything. It's official. If all else fails, you can find this webcomic on the webcomic website, which is down below in the description, strongfemaleprotagonist.net or .com. I don't remember. It's in the description. Go down below and click on the link and show them some love. One of the biggest reasons that I want to encourage people to order this book in the physical copy is because if the physical copy of Volume 1 does well, then it means that they can do a physical copy print of Volume 2, and I want it because books, you guys. Books. Last week we talked a little bit about the Marvel Phase 3 announcements, and we got some amazing comments. Christina Romano said that it would be amazing to see Carol and Jess do a Spice Girls duet. Oh my God. You know, do you think that they would sing Wannabe, or do you think that they would sing, I don't know, is the song called Saturday Night? What? Get down, get deeper and down, get down, get deeper and down, Saturday night, yeah. That's the song I want the two of them to sing. I don't know why, I'm feeling it. Oh my God, Lisa Lee. There are so many books I want to recommend to you for the Marvel Cinematic Phase 3 shenanigans, but I would start with some of my favorites. The current Inhumans run is really good. It's Charles Soule. The current Captain Marvel is really good, the one that Kelly Sue DeConnick is writing. You absolutely have to read that if you're not already reading it. Civil War, obviously, Mark Millar, really good. That book by itself will definitely prep you for the movie. Infinity Gauntlet is a really good suggestion as well. As far as Doctor Strange and Black Panther titles, I don't really have a lot to recommend there, unfortunately. If you're a viewer and you're watching this, can you recommend some good Black Panther or Doctor Strange books down below? Because I bet you can. I bet you guys are great at recommending books. Do it. Chris the Weirdo, you have an awesome screen name. Good job. Chris the Weirdo actually thinks that changing a character's race or sexual orientation for any reason is actually a cool idea so long as you maintain the essence of the character. And I could not have put that better myself. Also, he said that he's a huge proponent of the bisexual Steve Rogers, which this is a thing. This should be a thing. Oh my God, I want this to be, I've never heard of this, but I'm totally on board with this. I think it's great. But you know, there's another character that I always sort of inherently took for granted and thought that she was always bisexual, and that's Wonder Woman. Always just kind of felt like she would be a bisexual character. Maybe I'm projecting, maybe it's the Island Full of Women thing, I don't know. But I just like my Wonder Woman to like everybody in the sexy way. Be sure to like this video and share and subscribe. I would love to do more book reviews. Are there any books coming out that you would like to see me review? Tell me down below in the comments. Was this review helpful to you? Are you a new comic book fan? Read Strong Female Protagonist now. Now. And a special thanks as always goes out to Austin Books and Comics for always ordering all the best books forever and ever and ever, even if they are small publish or indie, because we love small publish and indie so much. Love.